Hello and welcome back to the YouTube channel. In today's video, I'm excited to walk you through how to build your very own crowdfunding website from scratch using PHP script. So I'm currently on the home page of the application. It's a very clean and professional website that has all the features that you need to be able to launch your very own crowdfunding website from successfully. Okay. So at the end of the tutorial, this is the home page. This is the application that you will have at your end. So make sure you stick to the end of the video so that you don't miss out on any of the procedures that we are going to take. Okay, we will start off by purchasing our hosting and domain just to get the foundations ready. Then we will dive into navigating your cPanel account, uploading your files, and setting up everything so that your website goes live. Okay, so whether you are a beginner or have some experience, this video will make it very easy for you to follow and build your application. Okay, so let's look at some of the features of the application. So we'll first of all navigate the application just to see what is available. Okay, so this entire user interface is completely customizable, so you can customize the user interface. So as you can see, we have all of these images that you can easily customize and change. You can change the colors of the application, you can change the text, and then customize it to look like the way you want. Okay, so if we click on join with us, all right, so users will be navigated to a login page where they can sign in for sign into their account. Okay, so in your login page they have these authentication providers, which is Facebook, Google, and LinkedIn. Okay, and they have the choice of choosing between any of these authentication providers when they are signing up or for an account. Okay, so once you sign up for an account using any of these authentication providers, you can just use that. Okay, and then users can also enter their username and password. That's if you sign up using this procedure. Okay, let's click on register, and from this place users are able to just enter their username, last name, email, and password, and then agree to your terms and policies, and then also check this robot checker, Google reCAPTCHA, and then sign up for an account. An alternative is using the authentication providers. In this case, they choose to sign up for an account using Facebook, Google, or LinkedIn, where their information gets shared with the application, and they don't have to create first name, last name, email, or password. Okay, so anytime they want to sign up, as we saw earlier, they can just choose any of these authentication providers and sign in straightforward. Okay, so that is very possible on your application, and I'll show you how to customize and then update this information such that users are going to be able to sign in using any of these platforms. Okay, yes, so let's return back to our home page. And our homepage, you realize that you have campaigns, okay, that users can donate to. All right, so if we click on campaigns, we have a number of campaigns that are set up. You can select the number of the campaign that you want to donate to. Now the currency here is Indian rupees. You can update that to whatever currency you want to use on your application. You can select the amount that you want to enter, or just basically enter the amount you want to donate. Okay, once you enter the amount, you can just click on this call to action for donation, and then the page loads up for the payment methods that you want to use to make your payment. Okay, so here there's a number of payment gateways. As you can see, there are 3 of them listed here, and in the admin area I'm going to show you how to enable your own payment gateways. Okay, so that you can take payments from this payment or donations that people are going to be giving into your application. Okay, let's just scroll down to the navigation bar, and this is kind of the navigations. If you purchase the application, I'll leave a link to the script files in the description. Make sure you are purchasing it from the right source, and once you've purchased and had your license key, then you can also update this footer, okay, to your own domain name. Okay, yes, so these are kind of the courses that they are raising funds towards. They have health, education, welfare, fundamental, and you can view the rest of them. Okay, and then your users can sign up for a newsletter. If there's a new campaign, you can basically send an email to those who have signed up for this newsletter, or this newsletter, for any updates that may be occurring on your application. Okay, let's return to our home page, and let's look at one very important aspect of the application. Okay, so if you scroll all the way down, let's go, we have volunteers. Okay, so very importantly, individuals are going to be able to join your campaigns on voluntary basis. Okay, so they can volunteer their service to join your course of crowdfunding for the individual campaigns that you have on your platform. Okay, so once they click on join as volunteers, they can then sign up and give information that you can use to reach out to them. Okay, so they basically will upload their image, name, last name, and some of the information that you need to make the decision. Okay, so they can select their country, zip, city, and the address. So once they submit, you have access to this information as an administrator, and then you can then reach out to these people if you want to make an interview, or whatever the process is that people have to go through to join as volunteers. Okay, so yes, this is going to be the complete application that you have at your end, completely customizable. You be hosting or on your own domain. And so with that said, if you enjoy a video like this, please consider subscribing to the channel so that you don't miss out on any of my future updates. Okay, so with that said, let's just go ahead and purchase our hosting and then host this application on our own domain. All right, before we get into the admin dashboard, I just want to take you through a quick glance of the dashboard. Okay, so these are the users who are going to be setting up the campaigns on your crowdfunding application. Okay, so when they sign up for an account and then they sign in, they will have the ability to start a campaign. So if you are navigating through the user dashboard, you see that your users can start up a campaign, but it is the responsibility of the admin to either reject these campaigns or accept these campaigns onto his platform. Okay, so you are definitely going to be the admin of this application, but I just want you to have a glance of what a user dashboard will look like. Okay, so the person can start a campaign. So if he clicks new campaign, it says create a new campaign. Okay, so there are different categories. These categories have been set up by the admin, in this case that is you, and then the goal amount. Okay, so what amount is this campaign owner trying to raise, and then the title of the campaign. Decide how you want to complete your campaign. Okay, so either after the goal is achieved, or after a deadline, or it's just a continuous one. Okay, so your users can set up campaigns, posters, images, and all of that. Okay, so the donors from the your homepage can then donate to those campaigns that they want to donate to. All right, so that is it for the user dashboard. If we return to the home page of the user, they have their dashboard here, and on this dashboard they have access to their campaign withdrawals, support tickets, and this one that I don't really understand, this is their profile. Okay, so this is the user's profile. All right, and then they have settings, favorite campaign, transaction logs, received donations, and given donations. Okay, so yes, so this is the user dashboard. There's a quick glance of the activities on the user's dashboard, and a very great representations of the reports. Okay, so they have their monthly donations raised report and monthly withdrawal reports. Okay, yes, so that's just the quick glance into the user dashboard. We'll get into the admin dashboard, that as the admin you'll be used to customize your application, and then set up the parameters that all your users will have to follow to be able to run their campaigns and avoid them getting rejected. Okay, so once you have your script, the next thing we want to do is to look at purchasing hosting for our application. Okay, so the hosting provider I'm using in this particular video is called Makigo Host. They have high-speed web hosting and domain name services. This is Makigo Host, and that's their homepage. So you can read through Makigo Host homepage to see most of the services they provide. Okay, and once you've gone through that, I want you to show you how we can purchase our hosting and domain. Okay, so on their navigation, you head to hosting services, and then from there you can go straight to shared hosting with cPanel. Okay, so as you can see, they also provide a reseller hosting plan with cPanel. They have a shared hosting with CyberPanel that is coming soon as well. So let's just go ahead and go to the shared hosting with cPanel. Once that is done, you can see you have unlimited database FTP accounts and a 99% uptime guarantee. Okay, so if you are purchasing hosting and domain, you want to get it from a service provider that is up most of the time. You don't want your website to be down most of the time and users cannot access it. Okay, so that's why I suggest you go to through Makigo Host. I'll leave a link in the description that you can go ahead and purchase your hosting. Now, the next thing we want to do is to scroll to the bottom where they have all of their services. So I have our hosting services, hosting features and services. You can scroll more down, and then we have their hosting plan. Okay, so as you can see, they have a $2.99 per month Go Basic plan. That's exactly what we are going to use. But your choice of the plan will depend on the requirements of your application. Okay, so as you can see, there are different services that they provide based off of the plan that you choose. Okay, so as if you check the storage, they have 20 gigabyte SSD storage for those who go with the 2.99 per month, and that of 50 gigabyte storage for those of them that go for the 4.99 per month. Okay, so for this particular video, I'm just going to go ahead and order the Go Basic plan. So click on order now, and once you select the order now, you'll be sent to a billing page. Okay, so basically you can see the particular services that you are choosing. Make sure you select a billing cycle to 1 year. Okay, so you get to save a few dollars from that. Okay, so once you select the 1 year plan, you save the 8.33% of the amount you would have paid. Okay, now if you want Makigo Host to do all of the Google Analytics integration for you, you can select that they offer at $15. And if you want them to index your site on Google too as well, they charge $15 for that. Okay, now I have a coupon code for Makigo Host. It's that you can add for a discount. So let's just go to this page. On your order summary, you have change your discount code. Okay, so click on that and put in your discount code. Okay, so I have div25 and submit. All right, so with that, you get a 25% discount, and that saves you a few dollars. Okay, now your total checkout fee is at 54.67 US dollars. Okay, now depending on your budget, you want to either enable or disable these services. Okay, because as you realize, the 54.67 US dollars is only for our hosting for 1 year, in addition to the Google Analytics and that of indexing your site on Google. Okay, so if you can do all of this, you don't need to add them. But if you want them to help you do all of that too as well, you can just add them and then check out. Okay, so once we have added our discount code and applied, go ahead and click on continue. Okay, so now we are redirected to a page where we are supposed to enter our domain. Okay, so this will, if you already own a domain from another provider, you can transfer that to Makigo Host. Or if you are working with a different provider, that's completely fine. That means you already have a cPanel account, and you can just skip the video until we are putting the script file online. Okay, but other than that, if you are ordering a domain for a particular project, you want to enter the domain name in this particular section to search. Okay, to search whether this domain is available. or it's not available. So let's just search learn. I'm just going to add learntoday.com. Okay, so we have learntoday.com, and let's search whether it's available. Learntoday.com is not available. Let's just add David. Okay, so learndavidtoday.com, and then let's search. Okay, so these are just random names. Okay, so you will be entering your particular domain that you prefer based on the project that you are building. Okay, so you wouldn't just enter any random project at all, but you'll be entering a name that relates to your particular project. Okay, yes, so now we have learndavidtoday.com is available, and then we can then go ahead and add to cart. Okay, so once that is available, click on add to cart. And now they also do have other product add-ons again here on this page. Okay, so they offer domain name system management and ID protection. Okay, so if you want to protect your identity on the internet, you can pay that $5 every 1 year. Okay, so just $5 per year, or you can add the domain name system management. Again, this is based off on your budget. If you don't have the budget for that, you can just go ahead and continue. So we're just going to go ahead and click on continue. And now we are at our other summary page. Okay, so now this is our plan. We have learndavidtoday.com, and that's of the add-ons that we added at $15. Okay, so we basically would have been paying $77.89, but now we have a discount of 8.22, making our payment at $69.67 from the coupon code that we used. Okay, so once you've gotten to this stage, we just want to enter in our details and then proceed. Okay, so enter your organization. I'm just going to put the movie, and then I'm going to put in my first name, which is David. Last name, that's my last name. I'll put in my email, which is ddarwin@gmail.com. I'll add my phone number. All right, and then my address. Put in your right address in this particular section of the video, so I'm just going to put in the city, our zip code. Let's put in 0233. Let's put in Upper East. Country is Ghana. Receive email announcement. I'm going to select no, and let's put in a password. Okay, so this will be your password to log into your account. Okay, so make sure you are entering a secure password. Okay, so now let's enter our password. Let's change this email account. Okay, so make sure you're entering the right email, because they will send some communication to this email, so you need to have access to it to be able to log into your cPanel account. Okay, so once that is done, check that you are not a robot by going through this Google this reCAPTCHA. So select bicycle and then verify. Let's agree to the terms and then place order and create account. Okay, all right, so once that is done, you have an order completion page. Okay, and an email that has been sent to your account. Okay, so for that, it's just a basic process that you follow. So all you have to do is to go and log into your account or your email account and then go through the billing process. All right, so if you have completed payment and created your account, okay, so this will be the user interface that you will log in at Makigo Host. You should, however, note that this user interface is going to be very different from other hosting providers. Okay, so as you can see, I have a Go Basic plan, which is learnwithdave.xyz, that I ordered at $32.89 yearly. Okay, so now if you've completed your payment through the email account, that is fine. You just wait for a few hours for your cPanel account to be um, account details to be provided to you that you can easily log in straight to your account, or wait for your domain name, which usually takes a while, about 20 hours to 24 hours for them to make your domain name available to you for use. Okay, but your cPanel account should not take that long to be provided for you, so that you can go and log in to it. Okay, so if you have finished all of your payment and then you've logged into your account, no problem. But if you are yet to make payment, you can head to their billing and then check your invoices. Okay, you basically see all of your open invoices, paid, draft, and all of it. Okay, so if you click on the paid, you will see all of the invoices that you have paid. Okay, so as you can see, I ordered this a while ago, so my invoice has been marked paid. Okay, however, if you have not paid and you clicked on your domain, you'll be redirected to this page. Okay, so if you scroll to the bottom, you will see that you have the options to make payment. Okay, so you can make payment at makigohost.com/bitcoin or makigohost.com/flutterwaves. Okay, and once payment is made, you will be notified that you have completed payment and your invoice will be marked as paid. Okay, yes. So if you return to your dashboard, you can check all your packages. Okay, so this is your packages, and then once you are here at your package, that's kind of the domain that you ordered, you can just click on that. And if it is Makigo host, you can log directly into your cPanel account. Okay, so you can just click on log into cPanel account, and there you have it. You have your cPanel account open. Okay, so in your case, there will be a wizard because it's a new cPanel account, but I have used this cPanel account for other tutorials, so that's why you are not seeing it. Okay, so yes, this is your cPanel account and this is your hosting provider's dashboard. Okay, and once you have your cPanel account created, we are going to go ahead and then start with the installation of our script. All right, so once you are done downloading your script files, okay, make sure that you're downloading it from the right source. I'm sharing a link in the description of the video where you can find the script files. Make sure that you're buying that from Codecania. That is the source, or the source of the script files that I use. With Codecania, you get a lifetime support. You're able to contact the developers. Okay, so don't go and visit any random website where someone is trying to redistribute this softwares to you at a price, and then when it gets deprecated and you are trying to contact the developers, you are not able to do so. Okay, so make sure that you are using the right resources, okay, to access the script files so that you don't have any issues in the future. Okay, so with that said, what we are going to do is to create our database. Okay, so once you have your script file available, we want to create our databases before we go on to moving the script files onto our cPanel account. Okay, so this is in no particular order. You could have installed your script and create the database at the end, but we're just going to start with creating our database and then moving our files and then completing the installation without any issue. Okay, so one thing we want to do is, once you have logged into your cPanel account, okay, so as you can see, I'm on this domain called learnwithdave.xyz. Yours could be different at something.com, but this will be the interface. And if you have a new cPanel account, you have some wizard that will appear. You can just close that or click OK. Yeah, so once that is done and you are on this cPanel area, just type on your search tool DB. Okay, so now once you search this DB, you have database wizard, PHP my admin, and manage my databases. Okay, so just go ahead and click on manage my databases. Okay, so once the page loads up, what we are going to do here is to create our database. Okay, so first of all, give your database a name. So in this box, just add DB name. I'm just going to call it DB name. And once you have this database name, just click on create. Right, so you get this success message. Once this you get this success message, just please click on go back. Great. So now that we are done creating our database, the next thing we are going to do here is to create our database user. Okay. So if you scroll down, we have database user and add new user. Okay. So on that um part, we just have to add our database username. So I'm just going to add my database username. So I'm just going to call it db user. Okay. And now, after you have entered the name of your database, the next thing you are going to do is to create a secured password for this particular database. Okay, so if user information have to be transferred between the user interface of your application and then what the database, you have this secure password which will serve as kind of a connection string between your interface and that of your DB. Okay, so with this user, you want to create a password for this particular user. Okay, so if you already own or have a secure password or strong password that you can use to for this particular user, you can just paste that in this password area. If you don't, they have a password generator right here that you can just click and generate a password. Okay, so I'm going to just click on it, and then you can click on generate password until you have a password that you prefer. Okay, so you can just click on this, and then once you have a password that you prefer, you can just go ahead and use that password. Okay, so this is the password that I have here and that I'm going to use for this particular database user. And once you have selected your password, make sure you are copying this password. So just click on copy, or you can use this and then you can select copy, or just Command C or Control C if you are on Windows. Okay, once that is copied, check this box. Okay, it says I have copied this password in a safe place. Now this is very important. Wow, I think I cut my password there. Yeah, let me just copy this, and now check this box, and then it says I have copied this password in a safe place. Now what this means is that in the installation of your script or that process, you will need this password to be able to complete the installation. Okay, they'll require your database user, that of the username and the password, in order to what complete the installation of the script. Okay, so this is a very important section, and then you need to have this password saved in a place that you can always have access to. Okay, so I'm going to check that, and once that is checked, you can just click on use password, and now what happens is that it automatically fills this password form inputs with that password that you just created. Okay, so once you are done with this, just click on create user. Now you get a success message here that says that your user was created. Okay, now let's look at one very important part of the video where we have to keep that password that we just created into a safe place that we can always access. Okay, all right, so for me, I have a Word document open that I have named tutorials. Okay, so in this Word document, I'm just going to put in my password. So for the password, I'm just typing in here password, and I'm just going to paste my password. Okay, so this is where I'm saving my password. Okay, so once you are sure that your password has been saved at a place that you can always reference, let's head back to our cPanel account. Okay, so once you are here in your cPanel account, just click on go back. And the last part of creating this database is to connect this database user and that of the database name. Okay, so we want to connect the user and the database. Okay, so if you scroll down to the bottom, you see add user to a database. Okay, so now as you can see, the form inputs for user and database have been pre-filled because we have DB user and that of the DB name. Okay, so if you have multiple databases already created, you have to just use this to select the right database and that of the user that you want to associate with one another. Okay, so that's how we add a database to that of the user. Okay, so it says add user to database instead. Okay, once this is done, go ahead and click on add. and then you are routed to this page where you have to manage user privileges. Okay, so these are CRUD operations that you have to give as privileges to this particular user on the database. Okay, so if you go through them, you have create, we have delete, event, index, select, trigger, update, and all of this insert that you have as privileges to this particular database. Okay, so for the purpose of this video, I'm just going to go ahead and allow all privileges. Okay, so if you want to allow certain privileges for this particular user, you can go ahead and then check those check boxes that you want to allow. Okay, but once you are done, click on once you are done allowing all privileges, just go ahead and click on make changes, and now you get a success message here. That means that everything was successful. Okay, so last part, let's copy this our database user and that of the database name, and then add this document to where we added our password. Okay, so I'm just going to push that down a bit, and I'm going to paste my database user and that of the database name. Okay, so eventually we'll reference this information when we are installing the script. Okay, so that's why I had us create our database, so that when our script runs, this database will already be available, and then we can just use that password and then what, install. Other than that, we will then be asked to return and create a database and continue the process. Okay, so yes, so that is it for creating the database. Let's just go ahead and then bring our files onto our cPanel account. All right, so once we are done creating our database, the next thing we are going to do here is to move our files onto our cPanel account. Okay, so at this point, after you have purchased your hosting and that of your domain, and you have created your database, I'm sure by this point you have purchased the application. Okay, so it's not a free script, it's a script you have to purchase from a company known as Codecania, and all you have to do is to use the link in the description to buy your script file. Okay, so we are going to go through the installation process. Okay, so this is my user interface, and if you visit your primary domain, which is right here, mine is learnwithdave.xyz, you see that your current domain is empty and it doesn't lead you into any application. Okay, so mine is learnwithdave.xyz. Yours could be any other wedding with .com or .org, depending on how you want to run your application. Okay, so now what we are doing here in this part of the video is moving the files onto cPanel account, and anytime someone visits your application, the whole application will be live and they will have access to all of the tools that comes with the crowdfunding application. Okay, so yes, so with that said, we are going to navigate back to my desktop, and then we are moving the files onto our cPanel account. All right, so right here on my desktop, you see two files, which are the Riser Lab 3.0 and that of, which they are basically the same, but we have the zip file and that of the folder. Okay, so basically I've extracted this to get this, and after you've purchased your application, you have access to this file that you can download. Once you download it, you have it in the zip format that you can then extract to get this. Okay, so it basically contains all the files and folders that you need in a zip format. Okay, so once you have this, okay, make sure you are downloading the files from Codecania. That is the official platform where the script files are sold. So when you download, you get a license key, which is only used for one domain. Okay, so make sure that you are downloading it from a credible source and not any other person trying to distribute this application for his or her own benefit. Okay, so yes, once you have downloaded it or you've purchased the application from Codecania, you have access to tech support, and the next thing is to go ahead and extract this file. Okay, so once you extract it, you have access to these files right here. All right, so in the extracted file, you have access to the documentation, files, and updates. Okay, so in your case, you wouldn't have this files.zip. I did that here on my own extracted files. Okay, so you have the documentations, and your documentation, you have assets. So assets basically contains all the information that makes up to makes up your documentation. Okay, so if you navigate to your documentation, you have access to a ton of information that can be helpful to reference in case you need it. Okay, so we have here Rise Lab is a funding and donation platform that makes a new world for each homeless child, women, and the poor. Okay, so you can read through the document here. There's a whole lot of information about the application that the script provider is trying to distribute. Okay, so for the technical point of view, let's go ahead and look at our server requirement, because with this application we are not just looking at the functionality of the application, but we are looking at how we can put it online for potential users who are going to be able to donate to your platform or your course, have access to the application and make sure they are able to do that. Okay, so you have a PHP version of 8.3. You can update this in case you are running a lower PHP version. If you try to install the application with something like 8.0, you get an error, and all you have to do is to navigate back to your cPanel account and then update this version. Okay, but if you have to reference some information to do this, I have a video. I'll leave a link to that video in the description. You can check it out on updating PHP versions. Okay, now we also have my SQL version. If you purchased it from the hosting provider I just provided here in the video, you should have the latest versions of MySQL or MariaDB version of 10.0. Okay, now there are a couple of extensions here. This should be automatically enabled in your cPanel account, but in case you don't see that, you can just check that out on your PHP version, and then you look at extensions and enable them. Okay, so yeah, that is it for our PHP version, and let's look at our server frequently asked questions. For this application, they recommend you use a cPanel based hosting, as but if you want to host on other platforms, they do support that. Okay, but if you want technical support for hosting, they say that they provide that only for cPanel based hosting, which is what we are doing here. Okay, so the hosting provider we purchased our hosting in the earlier section of the video uses cPanel based hosting, and that is what we are going to use. Okay, if you want to use something like CyberPanel, I'm sure it is also supported, and then you can just try it out. Okay, but in this video we are using a cPanel based hosting, and so we have not violated any of this here. Okay, now let's look at our installation. So this is a guide on the installation. I'll take you through all of these installation steps, but since you have the script files, this is a document that is readily available for you, and then you can always reference it as when you need. Okay, then you have your activation. So when you purchase it, you get your purchase code or your license key, and during the installation process they may require it, and then since it's one time use or one use for per domain, you are the only person who have access to that key to use on your domain. Okay, yes, so yeah, this is the rest of the information. We have our folder structure that I already went through or will go through when we are moving the files. We will also have access to an admin dashboard that you can use to customize the application. Okay, so most of the features that come with the application, you will use the admin dashboard. We also have general settings in terms of your site title, your currency, symbol, time zone, base colors. These are things we'll go through when once our application is live and we log into the admin dashboard. Okay, so you have a ton of features that come with the application that you can use, and then as you can see, they have payment gateway. All right, so this is the documentation. We are going to cover everything that comes with the application, but if you still have to go through it for some reason, it's available for you once you download the script. Okay, so with that said, let's just go back into the video and let's move our files onto our cPanel account. All right, so at this point, navigate to your cPanel. So I have my file manager here, and once you in your cPanel in the public underscore HTML directory, click on upload. Go ahead and click on select file and navigate to where your files reside. Okay, so this is the file that we are going to upload onto our cPanel account. Okay, please note that this file must be put into a zip format. Okay, just as I have done it. Okay, so if you have it in files folder like this, please compress the file or put it in a zip format, and then we can just select that and upload. Okay, so when you download yours, you wouldn't have find this files.zip. All you have to do is to compress this file, and then you have this as well. So we're just going to go ahead and click on open, and then there you should see the upload process begin. All right, so at this point we have 100% upload, and then you get this green box with a green loader with 100%. Okay, so once you get this, please just click on go back, and then you'll be redirected back to your public underscore HTML file where you have your files.zip. Okay, so once that is done, please let's go ahead and extract this file. Okay, so now all of our folders that make up the files or make up the website reside in this files.zip. So all I'm going to do is to select the file, go ahead and click on extract. So you can select extract from this drop down right here, or click on extract on the top most right corner, I guess, or left corner. Okay, so once you've done that, you just go ahead and click on extract, and then the extraction process for your file should begin shortly. Okay, so once the extraction is complete, just go ahead and click on close. All right, so once your files have been successfully extracted, if you visit the domain right here and then you refresh, you realize that we have the actual files, the zip file and that of the extracted file sitting on our application. Okay, so let's return to our cPanel account, and then we can get rid of this zip file, okay, because we don't need it anymore. So I'm just going to click on delete, and then we'll delete it permanently from our root directory. Okay, so yeah, once that is gone, please click on your files. So we are going to open this and then move all the files back onto our root directory. Okay, so I'm just going to open this files folder, click on select all, go ahead and click on move, and then we are moving out of the files directory onto our public underscore HTML file. Okay, so go ahead and delete these files, and now we are in the root directory, which is the public underscore HTML. Okay, and then just click on move. All right, so as you can see, our files directory is currently empty. If you click on go up one level, we now have all of our core files. Okay, so we have assets, core, install, .html access, and that of the index.php. Okay, so now this is available in our public underscore HTML root directory. Okay, so I'm just going to go ahead and delete the empty files. Go ahead and delete. We will delete that permanently from our device and just confirm. Okay, now let's go ahead and refresh our domain. So we are going to refresh. Yes, and at this point you should see the installer wizards. Okay, so now we are going to go ahead and go through the process of installing. So as you can see, license to be used on one domain or website only. Okay, so please note the purchase license key is for only one domain only. Okay, so once that is done, go ahead, just scroll to the bottom and just agree to and move to the next step. Okay, now at this point we do not have any requirements for server or file permissions. Okay, but if you do, you have a instruction on which file to edit its instructions. If you want to enable file permission for any form of files, because you may encounter that issue, please check in there's a link in the description to a video where I show you how to update file permissions on cPanel. Okay, yeah. So once that is done, go ahead and click on next step, and now we will be rerouted to this page where we have to add our database information and that of our admin credentials. Okay, as for the website URL, through the installation process they already captured that information, and the only thing we are required to do here is to enter our database name, database host, database user, and database password, as well as our admin information that we can use to log into the admin dashboard. Okay, so remember in earlier sections of the video we saved our database information on a Word document. So we're just going to bring that in and then continue with the installation. Okay, so once we are done, so open your Word document. I have it here, and I'm just going to copy my user. Okay, so that's my database user, paste that, and then I'll copy my database name, and then I'm going to paste that as well. Okay, so for our database host is localhost, so just put in localhost, and then what we are going to do is to copy the password right here. Okay, so make sure you are copying the right password, if not your installation would fail. Okay, yes. Now at this section you will add your admin username, password, and that of the email. Now this is information you will use to access the application admin dashboard. Okay, so make sure you're entering very secured information that only you can have access to before you go ahead with the rest of the installation process. All right, so with that said, I'm just going to enter my admin username, password, and that of the email. Okay, so once you have entered all of the admin credentials, you can just go ahead and click on install. All right, so now if everything went on well, you should see a success message. It says your system has been installed successfully, and then you have a little bit of information that you have. Okay, so look at this notice here that says please delete the install folder from the server. Okay, so let's go back to our cPanel account. Let's close this window, and then let's get rid of this install window. So just select it, click on delete. Let's get rid of it permanently from our cPanel account or our root directory. So I go ahead and delete it, and now our installer is gone. Okay, in this way if someone mistakenly runs install on your application, it won't be available for another installation. Okay, unless you go through the process all over again. Okay, yeah. So once that is done, you can return to your home page. It says go to the website and activate. Okay, so go to website and activate, and then just click on that. Yes, so this is your user interface loading. You have the Riser Lab. Welcome to Riser Lab, and then you can also accept the cookies. Okay, go ahead and accept them, and then you have you will make a difference. This is just random text. You can edit, and then you have your navigation. This is basically the home page. You will learn how to customize this home page using the admin dashboard. Okay, so yes, this is the application live, and this is your crowdfunding application that you are currently running. Okay, so the next part is to look at a user dashboard. So if users sign up for an account, as you can see, there's a registration for an account and there's a login. Okay, so we'll look at when users are logged in, and then we'll also look at the admin dashboard on how to customize these applications look. Okay, so yes, let's move on to that stage of the video. All right, welcome to the admin dashboard. Okay, so once you are signed into your admin dashboard, okay, so if you add slash admin, you'll be able to enter in your admin credentials that we set up during the installation of the script, and then you can just enter your your password and username. Okay, So this is the information that you are going to see. I'm using this account that has demo data. That's how come you are able to see that I have a total of um 475 users. Okay, in your case they should all be 00. Okay, yes, so this is information that will be readily available to you when once you start running your application. Okay, so you have access to the users, you have access to the total amount of payment, you have total charge and that of the total campaigns running on your site. Okay, you also have this report here that shows your payment and withdrawal reports and your transaction report. Okay, yes, so as well you have login history. All right, now you have your donation statistics here as well. This is statistics on your donations month on a monthly basis or on a daily basis. Okay, so you can see 23rd, 24th, depending on how you are getting the donations on the platform. Okay, yes, so you can manage your users. We are going to go through this quickly because you have access to all the active users and a ton more information. Okay, so you can go to the categories. The categories are the courses that people are going to be donating towards. Okay, so as the admin of the application, you will set these categories and users will basically choose which kind of categories they are raising funds towards. Okay, so as the user you can always as the administrator you can always add new categories to your list, and then your users will select from a wide variety of these categories to start their fundraising on it. Okay, yes, so you also have campaigns. Okay, these campaigns will list all the campaigns, the completed campaigns, and then what extended campaigns. Okay, so as you can see, we are trying to quickly glance through a lot of them so that we can get into the settings. Okay, so you have information on donations. So these are the donations that were made. You have information on your volunteers. Okay, so you have those volunteers that are currently active and those that are not active. Okay, so if there's a volunteer that you set up here that is active but set as inactive, you can go ahead and click this icon here to activate this volunteer. Okay, you can also add a volunteer. So once a volunteer has gone through the process of becoming a volunteer, you can manually add that volunteer onto your site by adding their image, their name, and some of the details that you see here. And once that is done, you can just go ahead and click on submit. All right, and then you will return to the page. Okay, so yes, here is where you have all your success stories. Then you have all payments that were made. So you have initiated payment, successful payment, approved payment, and all of that. Okay, so yes, you also have information on withdrawals. We have information on support tickets. Okay, so if your users run into an issue, the next thing they are going to be looking at is to create a ticket for your team to be able to assist them to run this application or to solve their issues. Okay, yes, as well as the reports. Okay, so you have transaction history, login history, and all of those things. Okay, so the next thing we are going to do after glancing through all of these individual sections is to go to the system settings. Okay, so because we have a ton of settings to do here on the application from the system settings. All right, so in your system setting, you have access to your general settings, system configurations, payment gateways, SEO configurations. Okay, and we are going to go through each of them one after the other. Okay, so if you go into your general settings, you have access to your site title, your currency, and that of the site base color. Okay, so these are things you can update on your own. All right, so research and look at kind of the color that you want to add onto your website and just update it. Okay, so yeah, if you have the hex value for that particular color, you can just click on it and then what um and paste it. Okay, so you can copy your site colors hex value and come and paste, or just click on it and then select some color for your application. Okay, yeah, so let's return to the settings and let's go to the system configurations. All right, so these are configurations that you can just click on enable. If you want to enable your force SSL, that means users will have to visit your site on a secure URL. Users may have to agree to certain policies, and these are so basic, so you can just go through them and enable those that are, or those that you want to apply to your application. Okay, yes, If you go to payment gateways, I said earlier in the video that you have a ton of payment gateways that you can enable, and you'll be enabling these payment gateways based on your location in the world. Okay, so based on what is available in your country, you will choose that and then use that for your crowdfunding platform. Okay, so let's say a user chooses Stripe hosted. If you go to edit, the user, after you sign up for an account, you get your secret key and that of the publishable key from Stripe, that's the company, and then you can then paste those into this place, and once you save, then you have access. Okay, so this will basically redirect into your payment gateway, and then every form of donations will be redirected through Stripe to you in using your payment or your publishable keys and your secret keys. Okay, yeah, so that is it. And for payment methods, so all you have to do is to select the payment methods that you want to enable, sign up for an account with the payment provider, and then enable that here on your script. Okay, yes. So let's look at something like SEO configurations. Okay, so with SEO configurations, you set up keywords, descriptions, and then your social titles and social descriptions. Okay, so this will help your application to rank on Google. Okay, it may not necessarily let the application rank number one on any Google search, but that it does help with the visibility of your site on Google. Okay, so you must consider writing some really good SEO descriptions and keywords, so that anytime a user searches those words, then your website is likely to be the one to show up. Okay, yeah, so that's it for the SEO. You can manage your pages. So let's say you want some of the features of the home page. So if you go to edit, you'll be able to remove some of the features. So in your home page, if you don't want the about section to be available, you can go ahead and remove that. If you don't want the campaign section to be there, you can remove that. Okay, so you are basically the one who determines what shows on the pages that you have. Okay, so yes, so that is it for all of these pages you can manage. So you can remove certain pages from other pages, and for some pages it just contains information about those, but in your navigation you realize that you have about and frequently asked questions, but if you don't want those to show as well, you can just go ahead and remove them from your application. Okay, so that is it for this section. Okay, so you can remove sections of the application you don't want to show, and then you can add pages as well. So as you can see, there's a call to action here that you can click and add a new page. All right, yeah. So let's get back here to our social login. This is one very important section that we covered for registration and for signing. Okay, so you realize that earlier in the video I showed you the way that users can sign up for Google authentication and then configure that and be able to sign in using these platforms. Okay, so you sign up with Google for authentication and you get your client ID and your client secret. Okay, once you update these informations, your users now have the options to choose Google as a way to sign up, okay, and sign into your application, and then your application will have the permission to gather those data of users from Google. Okay, so yeah, this is a very important section. Look up on creating a Facebook authentication and that of LinkedIn as well. All right, yes, so the next thing we are going to do is look at extension, maintenance mode, and the rest of the sections. Okay, all right, so if we navigate to extensions, you see that we have Google Capture, Facebook Comment, Google Analytics, and Google Recapture 2 and Talk to. Okay, so these are extensions you can enable on your application, but it's not necessary that you should enable every one of them. Okay, so assuming that you want to enable a live chat on your crowdfunding application, the application or the extension you would enable here is the Talk to. Okay, so if you go to configure, you once you sign up for an account with Talk to, you will be able to have access to your app key. Okay, so this app key is what you are going to paste here and submit. All right, and it's the same with the rest of the extensions here. So we have Google Analytics. If you want to get analytics on user behavior on your application, you can sign up for a Google Analytics account, and then you can paste your measurement ID or your measurement information right here and then submit. Okay, so yeah, so it will be done the same for most of these applications. You have your random string, you can put it here and then submit. Okay, and those will be saved, and then your extensions will be activated. Okay, yes. So let's move on to maintenance mode. So if there's an issue that you want to put your application on maintenance mode, you can just go ahead and enable. It is currently disabled, but you can enable maintenance mode, and then your application will have this message. We are just turning up a few things. We apologize for the inconvenience. So even this message is customizable. Okay, so you can change this text. You can also put an image there. So if your applications on maintenance and the person visits the application, they will have that image with this text right here. Okay, and once that is done, you can also submit those informations. Okay, yes. So let's look at some other important parts. Okay, which is your logo and favicon. So your logo is this right here. Okay, so you can update. So I told you earlier in the video that you'll be able to customize in a way that you can update all the images that you need. So you see you have your logo here, so you can use a free tool like Canva to also design your logo and then just upload it right here. So you see this icon allows you to upload your logos. Okay, so just as we have it here, and then your favicon is this right here on your application. Okay, so once that is done, just upload it and then save, and this will automatically be updated. Okay, yes, so that is it for the logo and the favicon. You can set your notification settings. You can look at your drawer methods. These are the methods that your users can set up and use as the point of withdrawal. So as you can see, we have mobile money is a method that can be used to withdraw cash. So if you go to edit, okay, so you'll be able to add the mobile money, the currency. Okay, so if someone is withdrawing money through the mobile money method, you can see you have some written instructions to help them complete the processing of their money. Okay, yes, so let's move back, and then we have how to manage your front end. Okay, so this will be similar to managing your page, but this will be editing the actual content of the web page. Okay, so if you go to about, you can edit the content. If you go to campaign sections, and the best thing I suggest you do this is to do it with reference to your user interface. Okay, so once you click on login page, okay, whilst you are editing, you see that you have your login page image. While you are editing, you know exactly the part of the page that you are currently editing. Okay, so the same thing will apply to most of these sections, okay, or most of these front end features. Okay, so if you want to customize any of the sections, just click on this GA icon, and then you have access to the content of that page that you can edit. Okay, yes, so let's go back to our settings, and then you have your know your customer settings. You know how have your language settings, policies page, GDPR cookies, and that of your sitemaps XML. Okay. All right, so that's the end of the admin dashboard. I hope you enjoyed the video. If you enjoyed the video, make sure you hit the subscribe button, and make sure that we share this video to be more helpful to others who may want to learn how to build applications like this.